Hello guys, this is Boomerang here and welcome back to another video. And today I am going to be talking about something I've been meaning to talk about for a while now, almost 2 months to be honest. Well, actually, no, it's not that much time. It's more like a bit over a month. But I've been putting this off a very long time because there kept on being more and more stuff kind of adding on to it, and I just wanted the information to kind of come out, and also I've been very busy with college and that sort of stuff, so I didn't really have a lot of time to cover it. But this is about the 4B movement. Now, this started because a person you might probably know, especially if you're in the US, Donald Trump won the presidential race, and yeah, a lot of people were not happy. If you aren't from the US, you probably know who he is, although if you just have no clue, just to put it bluntly, he is a very controversial candidate. And he is part of the Republican Party, which is like the conservative party of the US. They more advocate for Christian conservative policies. So you can kind of see where I'm getting at. But yeah, the feminist community, the toxic feminist community, really did not like that. Not at all. So basically, the toxic feminists of the cyberspace went on to our favorite Chinese Communist Party propaganda platform, TikTok, to spam down their disgust about the winner and how it's the patriarchy taking over the US again. There's probably people claiming it's rigged and that sort of stuff. And then some of the smarter members, these are people who have an IQ between 70 and 80, by the way. They looked it up and they noticed that most men, at least most younger men, voted for Trump. So they came up with the absolutely genius idea of let's just not fuck with them. Let's just force them to be virgins. So you might be wondering, wait a moment. But there's also men who voted for Harris. Not every single man in the United States voted for Trump. And you're 100% correct. Me being one of them. So wait, are they gonna lump you guys into the Trump supporters? Yes, they are. They're just gonna assume that every single guy is a Trump supporter. And this is quite ironic as well, because I'm gonna pull up something real quick. You see this graph? This is from all generations, by the way. This graph shows how men and women have voted. Now, this is probably the best I could find. It's from Statista, as you can see. Although, as you can see, yes, more men did vote for Trump than women. Although, this number is not zero. I mean, in fact, it's over 40%. Like, that's basically nearly half of the population. But look right here. Something to note is that with these sort of stupid people on TikTok advocating for the most, or Twitter or whatever, advocating for the most ridiculous policies, they're almost always white. And more white women voted for Trump than for Harris. So maybe you should stop talking to any women, period. Because you want to use that logic on men. Just not say a single word to anyone, period. Because with your logic, white women should also be frowned upon because they contributed to Trump winning. And they should not have any sex. So maybe cut all men's dicks off. You know what? That actually sounds like a good next good next approach to the 4B movement. Just prevent any sex from happening at all. Just let the entire human species go extinct. Now this seems like a smart idea, since a lot of like more incel-like men are very obsessed with the idea of having sex, especially with a lot of different women. But you'll see how horrible their approach to doing this is in a little bit in this video. Now, you might be wondering, what misogynistic policies necessarily is Trump promoting to justify this sort of response? And the answer is I don't really know, although there seems to be one that this community of femcells is hyper obsessed with. Well, they're actually probably not femcells. Oh fuck. Society is so fucked. Okay, moving on. Yeah, it's abortion. You see, Trump is pro-life. Basically, what that means is he basically believes that for the most part, abortion shouldn't happen. It should be illegal. However, here's the caveat. He's not going to ban it throughout the entire nation. He's going to let the states decide. So basically, the states will decide if, abortion should be legal or not. Do you have an opinion about this? No, this is actually something I used to be slightly pro-choice, although now I'm just completely neutral. Like I said, it isn't like I'm centrist either. I'm actually completely neutral. I don't care which way it goes whatsoever. But they use that to justify basically kill all men sort of stuff. Now, this is the only reason that I've heard them bring up because they probably don't have any other reason, to be honest. Because the thing is that, yeah, Trump is a conservative, although he's not like Andrew Tate. He doesn't, or at least from my knowledge, he isn't like actively demeaning women. By the way, I just want to point out, I meant this in the way of publicly advocating for policies. I'm not referring to any of the trials of him possibly sexually assaulting women or anything like that. That's a whole completely different mess about him that I'm not going to get into this video. I just felt like I should probably be more clear about it, so that's why I have this in it. Do I like Trump? No, not really. He is a very controversial figure, and there's a lot of things about him which are very controversial, and a lot of things I disagree with him because of that. Although at the same time, I can recognize how ludicrous this is. And just to get an idea of his stance on abortion, he does, or at least this is what I'm pretty sure he believes in. This is what I've heard at least. I believe his stance is that it should be federally legal for an abortion to happen if a woman gets raped or gets molested, like incest, or if it's gonna kill the woman. But he believes like just a normal abortion should be illegal. That's what I think his perspective is. And this is kind of what I'm talking about, like the neutrality. As long as if a woman, can get an abortion if they are sexually assaulted or if they are, um, or if they're gonna die without it, I'm completely fine either way. I just don't care. And to be honest, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. Or at least I don't really think it is. Like, there could be much worse things, much more worse rights that could be taken away from women, like equal pay or like the right to wear, for the most part, whatever clothes they want. Stuff like that. There could be much worse things than just a ban on abortion. And it isn't even a ban either. It's up to the states. So I've heard this argument actually, and I actually can't lie, it is kind of convincing. Because since the states can vote, it's more democratic. The people in the states relatively can vote as to whether the person bans abort or the state bans abortion or not. Their response is, "Oh, men shouldn't vote. It should only be us because it only affects us," which I absolutely find a revolting argument. Let me phrase it a different way. Affirmative action only affects white people. Does that mean that only white people can vote for affirmative action? Or how about this? You never lived in the Holocaust, didn't you, with your pale white skin? So you can't have an opinion on the Holocaust. All of those atrocities, you can't even have an opinion about that at all. What I'm trying to say is that this argument is just inherently undemocratic. Because if you had, it's that only people who are affected could vote for certain things, good luck with the Free Palestine sort of shit. Well, like literally nobody can vote on it because it's not affecting us at all. Well, maybe except for, well, no, not even that. Since there's no U.S. troops in Gaza. But let's just bring that aside and let's go back to the 4B movement. So that's kind of their main talking point from my knowledge to justify the sort of radical response. So now, how are they approaching this, you might ask? And, well, all I'm going to say is probably in the worst way you could imagine. Basically, not only do they want to sleep with any men, they want to make it, they want to be proud and clear that they don't want to sleep with any men. So they shave their heads off, which is stupid as fuck. And I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I mean, just the idea of that is weird. I mean, I think this is kind of the thing about feminism in general. And this is something I don't really understand. If you're fighting against something, so in their case, it's the patriarchy. There, you have to like work in the realms of it to fight. Just not just like show you're a complete outcast and ask for rights that way. To be honest, with that in mind, I don't even know how it's gotten that far. How feminism has even gotten that far. I mean, it's a good thing it did, but I just don't know how. And that's not even the worst part about doing that. If this was a game of chess and Stockfish was monitoring it, they will see that move and mark it as a blunder. Because it really was a blunder. Here's why. Cancer patients, women who are cancer patients, are coming out and saying, what the fuck are you guys doing? You're basically destroying any progress we made of normalization of us in society. What are you doing? And because of that, they are unironically being misogynistic when trying to promote women's rights, because the only thing they can think of is to degrade men as much as possible, that they accidentally degrade women in the process. I am holding back tears at the moment because it is so stupid that I can't help but laugh. It's insane. So how could this have been changed to actually work? And the reason why I'm saying this is because I know all of the women who are part of the 4B movement who clicked on it thinking it's going to be some sort of stupid incel talking about, you know what, like misogynistic Andrew Tate-ish talking points. They're not going to be watching this. So I'm just going to say how this could have gone differently. Because I think this could have been horrible if they approached it slightly differently. The main thing that I think of is, you know how I said before, they're fighting against the patriarchy, right? You have to, and now I said you have to play in the realms of it to advocate for change instead of like make yourself look like outcasters because you just look weird. What they should have done is they should have tried to make themselves look as attractive as possible. Not only that, have to like try to get like models into it and that sort of stuff as well. And if the movement is big enough and men are getting rejected constantly because of this, it could actually have change. Do I advocate for this? No, not at all. It is manipulative as fuck. But if you wanted to make it work, that's how you did it. How you make it work. And yeah, like I said, I feel like this is a good note to end on because, yeah, that's just been an absolute disaster of a movement. And it tears me up because it just proves how like stupid the toxic feminism community has gotten and how they will literally do anything to degrade men. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, dislike if you dislike, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out!